All right, let's make a formal introduction for our listeners. Good afternoon for you now, Fabrizio. My name is Claudio, and I'm calling you from Washington, D.C., from the studios in Fairfax City. We're very humble and grateful that Fabrizio Campanelli accepted our invitation to our show. Fabrizio, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Claudio. Hi, hello to everybody.
Thank you. The last 2 years have been very crazy with the COVID, and some people believe in the vaccine, and some people don't. In Italy, at the beginning, a lot of people die, unfortunately. And how the COVID affected you, your family, your inability to go out, your sanity? How you holding up?
Yeah, I took the COVID just in the last month because I remained one of the few people free from this disease till September, when with the reopening of the schools, many children shared this virus, which is now quite free to circulate, to go around, because many people, more than 90% in Italy are vaccinated. So now we are living a new phase of this approach against the disease. So we are more free and also less worried about it. But at the first year was dramatic, not only from the point of view of the people and healthcare, but also for our job. Our job is based on productions, and for those who are artists that make live music, it was even worse, because for composers or producers that can write something also closed in their studio, it was dramatic, but you could work at something, and so you go on. But for live artists, it was really a tragedy. But also the world of productions, from cinema to advertising to also discography, it was hit in a really, really bad way here in Italy. And we suffer even now. The people that prefer at home instead of going out to theaters or cinemas to watch a movie or to live a different kind of experience. So they go out to walk around, to shop, to make some shopping, but it's difficult to change the habit to stay here at home to watch a movie or to enjoy something theatrical or something like this. So we are seeing the light now from 2 years of dramatic times, but we have to reach the I don't know how much time we will take to reach the level of the times before the COVID, but now also from the cinema side, producers and distributors are watching how people react this new time of freedom, and so this new freedom to share a show, to leave something new, because after 2 years of everything blocked, everything stopped, it's quite difficult to come back to the lost habits.
Yeah, I know. No, I know exactly what you mean. It had been very difficult, and the economy all over the world, suffer, collapse. So
Yeah.
where? Let's go back to the beginning. Were you born like in a musical family? I mean, how old were you when you perhaps began taking, I don't know, guitar lesson or piano lesson?
Yeah. No. My father was a naval officer, and my mother is a psychologist. So no one in my family played anything. But my father really loved classical music. So when I was young, when I was a child, I listened to a lot of classical music by my father. And but especially they let me take some piano lessons at first, because they noticed that when someone was playing the piano, for example, in a pub or in some place with live music, I was the classical curious child approaching the piano player and kind of disturbing him while playing, pressing the keys, and so they saw that I was attracted from the piano, so from that instrument and from the people playing that instrument. So when I was 6, they decided to give me some piano lessons, and I started playing piano from 6. Then I went to Conservatory of Music when I was 10, but then I went out because it became something more too much, not strong, but it was a kind of routine, kind of something that didn't attract me as much as it was before, in the years before. And but till I was 11, I listened only classical music, and then my cousin made me a present. Gave me an LP of Madonna, Like a Virgin. The first LP I received in my life was a present of my cousin, and it was Madonna. And so it was so strange for me, because I was completely out of pop music, and I started discovering pop music, and also it was the time of in the 80s of Duran Duran, Madonna, and I was playing piano, so my little friends at school or at home, they asked me to can you play something of Duran Duran or so. And so in this funny way I approached the new side of the music, which was the pop side of the music. And then I made a sort of I mixed I mix the musical world in that style, that language, which is the language of music for movies, for soundtracks, which is a music where you must love every side of the music. You must love pop music, electronic music, classical music, and jazz music, because every time you must choose the right language, the right mood to shape the sound of the scene, the sound of the characters, sorry. And so you must not be close in just one kind of approach or kind of language, because you must be open-minded and free to be every time a different kind of person, artistically speaking.
Yeah, I got it. When you work with a new director, right? Let's say if I'm a director, right? And I do a science fiction movie, right? And I
Yeah.
know the music I want to hire to do the score. You prefer to, what's the process? The score, the film score is done toward the end of the movie, right? Do you prefer to have read the book, have read the script, or every director is different?
No, in all projects, it depends on the time you have to compose the score, the time the production has to deliver the final product. And so if you have the possibility to start thinking about the score and thinking about the music from the script, I think it's a lot better, because you can manage all the story from your point of view, and you can approach the psychological side of the story or of the characters without conditionings, without you are free. Okay, of course, when you read something, you start imagining it in your mind. So sometimes what you will see in the movie, maybe it will be something completely different from what you created in your mind reading the script or reading the book. But the more you can think about it and you can start writing music on the script, the more you will be focused after. Of course, you will have to manage if this will be what the director will want or the producer will want. But and of course, the scene and the colors of the scene, the colors of photography, the kind of the character acts, so the roles played by the actors will be the main side. You will be not forced, but you will manage to think about all the score, all the music. So when I compose, I watch the scene or the group of scenes which the editor align on the timeline,
Yeah.
aligns on the timeline, many times, and many times I watch completely mute, without dialogues, without temp music, to catch the feeling of the scene, the feeling of the actors, and trying to see what there is behind them, behind the actors, behind the colors of the scene. But yes, if I can start writing from the script, I start writing on the script. I know there are many composers that want to start creating music only when they can watch the images, watch the scenes. Yeah, but I'm not that kind of composer. I like to start from the abstract point of view, really.
Right.
The
And
composing.
how long does it take to do one from the time that you don't see the dialogue, you only see images passing through, right? For a while, a couple of times, you have read the script, you have read the book, you met with the director.
Yeah, it depends. It depends of the time fixed by and scheduled by the production house, the production team. So usually I 5 months between the first reading of the script,
yeah,
to the composing process, the producing process, and the final delivery of the project. Because in the middle of the process, you will have the first screening of the edit, the second screening of the edit, the final screening and every step will have the corrections required from the production, from the also distributors, and so it's a kind of fine-tuning. You like a sculptor with the marble, you will have to start creating the shape of the figure, and to refine it on every step of the process. So the first step is the first edit of the scenes, maybe also from the dailies. You know that when the director starts the movie, every day they have a shooting of some scenes, and they edit them, and they give and deliver them to the editor, and the editor maybe will share them with the composer to start watching what is happening on the set, with the actors and with everything. And so when you have some scenes put on the timeline to create a little block, a little part of the full movie, you will start creating the music on it, with the help of the editor, which will use something you have created original from the reading of the script, from the thinking about the mood, or from the scoring on that particular scenes, those particular scenes. And so the editor will use temp music. We say temp music, that kind of music the editor use to start editing the movie, because when you put the scenes on the timeline, you must have something that can guide you with the mood, with the movements, with the different shots of the scene. And so if you are lucky and you create right before the shooting the right music to let the editor use it on the timeline, you will find a lot of music which is similar to your ideas, to your approach to the music. If you are not so lucky, you will find put on the temporary scenes a music completely different from what you had in mind, and sometimes you must go in a direction different from that you thought reading the book or watching the first dailies of the shootings.
Mm.
And the temp music, it could be a really big problem when people watching the temporary edit of a scene, of a part of or of a part of a movie, will to fall in love with that music, and this will bring a really great problem, because you composer will have to match that vision, that sound, and it could be a really a trap, the use of temporary music on the early stages of the editing. But so I like starting from the script, also to give to the editor a lot of music that he will be able to use as a temporary music. Also, if it will not match in the right way the mood of the scene or the characters, but it will make a lot easier the rest, the process, the further process of scoring, of writing music, because you will have not to fight against a temporary music of John Williams or of Hans Zimmer, or something which has a lot of original and strong character, that it's really difficult to match. And so the process is made of maybe 1 month working on the script, 2 or 3 months working on the scenes, going across the different steps of the process, from the first early edit to the final edit. And then typically, if you use an orchestral language for the scoring, after the final edit, the approved by the production team and by the distributors, you will go to record it with the real orchestra, to mix it and to deliver for the final sound mix of the whole movie.
Wow. It is a complicated process. And then
yeah, it's quite complicated because it touches many sides of the production workflow, which is not only writing down the music on the paper or on the sequencer on the computer, but it is also managing the relation with the production team, with the director, and also the relation with the sound engineer and the mixing process. It's something more complex than most of people think
right?
about.
And then if for any reason the director or the editor at the beginning doesn't like what you have and you need to start all over again, can you save what you created in your library for another movie, another director down the road? It's no waste, right?
Maybe some when I say then that when you start this kind of job, and so you start working with music for movies, you must not fall in love with your music, with the music you create every time for a scene, or because maybe you have an idea, an approach to a scene, but maybe the director has a completely another kind of idea, and so he will ask something completely different, maybe also opposite to what you made at first. And so you must not fall in love with your music, but you must bring in mind that you are working with a project which involves a lot of brains, a lot of people, and a lot of vision, and so sometimes the key role is played by the editor, because the editor of the movie has the power to create the right place for your music, for your expression, or he can also destroy every kind for the music kind of place for the music to have the right effect, or the right role in the scene. So the editor is a really key key role. And maybe the editor can also choose the music and suggest the kind of approach for that scene that the composer will have to follow for the scene.
Are you able to think for end to end? It takes, I don't know, 4 or 5 months. Are you able to work with 2 or 3 film editor and do film score at the same time?
No, it's impossible.
Possible?
No, it's impossible. No, I say 5 months because maybe you take less time. You take, but you have to think globally in a situation in which you can't think at the same time at different. Yeah, it's absolutely, because you must feel no, for me it would be impossible to catch different feelings at the same time.
Yeah,
because you must go inside of the movie. So I don't think you can be inside of many shoes.
Yeah. Well, Hans Zimmer, for example, he's able to do several projects at the same time because he has people working from him.
Yeah.
So he had a high level and then hire you to do stuff, hire me to do another part, hire another person to do another part. So he could be able to do 3 or 4 movies, film school in a year, plus other projects, because there are people under him that
because it is a kind of industry. In Italy, you can maybe you can manage this kind of approach, but you must have the right people to do this, and so we are more artisans in Italy, because our industry is so little compared to the one of in the United States. So you can approach many projects at the same time, but you must have a scale bigger than the scale that any composer in Italy can manage with. In my studio, I collaborate with many people sometimes, but to manage many 3 or 2 or 3 or 4 movies at a time, you must be less involved in the scoring, strictly speaking, but more in the managing of entire process. I love writing music, and I have orchestrators. I have Enrico Goldoni, which is an orchestrator, and also he is an orchestra director who has been working with me for 16 years, 18 years. But he receives from me the mostly the scores written with all separated parts. So I like not only to write music, but also orchestrating it. I like orchestrate music. I like produce the sound of the music. And so I like produce the entire soundtrack from any kind, any point of view, from the sound, from the microphones to be applied, to be used in the orchestra. But if you want to share your time with many projects, you must follow them more from the managing point of view than from the composing point of view. So Hans Zimmer is a great manager and not only a great composer. And in USA, you have production that sometimes require the music composed and produced in 1 month.
Yeah.
Also in Italy, it maybe sometimes you can manage this kind of times of production, but in your industry, you have to manage time so strict, so that you must absolutely have someone around you to help and to manage the every kind of this process, because
Right.
so it's a different kind of approach to the production.
Yep. Yeah, I think I read that Ennio Morricone was very efficient. He was able to do several projects at the same time. Maybe his brain was, you know, bigger than something, because it right. So you can, if you divide that into music, right, composing music versus management, right, for the recording engineer, the studio, bringing the orchestra. Some musicians, they don't want to deal with the management. No. I like music. So you let's say you were working together. Okay, Claudio, you worry about all the musicians, the scaling, arrive, everything. You know, I want to write the music, and I will give you a sheet, and this is what I want. Okay, you go and implement it, because Fabrizio just want to concentrate in the music portion, right?
Yeah. Right, but yeah, I maybe in the past, the composer was the kind of musician addicted to writing on the paper, because it was the right way to compose at the time. But starting with the computer era, many composers nowadays think about music not only as something written down on the score, on the sheet, on the paper, but also think about something which has a precise sound. And because many years ago, Morricone would show the music on the piano, also for the orchestral part. For example, John Williams to show the music of Star Wars had to play it on piano, because it was impossible to let the people, let the producer or the director get the right feel of the music, right feelings, without a real orchestra. So if you had a real orchestra to play everything you want anytime, you could make showcases in the auditorium to let the director listen to that you created, saying, okay, orchestra, now we'll play the music M42, and so it was impossible at that time. So the people, the composers, used the piano to show all the music. But nowadays, the producers or the directors of the movie know that they can listen to something really close to the final result of your composing process through digital samples, digital instruments.
Yep.
And so it changed really a lot the way a composer thinks about the final result. You will have to show your music not only as something written with the themes and with music from an abstract point of view, but also with something concrete which kind of sound they will hear from you, it will be something that will be judged from them, and so now a composer has not only the music on a paper, but also the whole sound of your idea to be shown to the people that commissioned the music. So this is the reason why nowadays everything is written on the computer, on the sequence. Some composers love writing the notes on the paper, but 1 minute after, they have someone who put it on a sequencer and on digital sound, because it's impossible to avoid this kind of process, which is so important.
Yeah, I got it. How you let's look at a couple of your films. The how to grow up despite your parents. Feel free to elaborate how the project came together and you end up was nominated from the 2017 David Dinotello Award. Feel free to.
Yeah, we have an award with David Di Donatello, which is like your Oscars. We have the Cinema Academy that assigns in the same exactly the same way the USA Academy gives the Oscars, and it was for an original song for a Walt Disney movie, and I created not only the original score but also the original songs for this film. That it was not a musical, but it was a film for teenagers, with a lot of songs inside, and it was nice because I hadn't some famous singers or famous artists in the song. So the song was sung by the actors, the main actor of the movie, and he was completely unknown. So I really appreciated it, because the nomination, it was not driven by someone famous. When it's easier when in your song you have a famous singer to be nominated, but it was so nice, and it was for a movie for Walt Disney Italy.
Right. Yeah. Good for you. Another great composer is the Just a Father, Solo un Padre, that was nominated from the 2019 Golden Award.
Yeah, it was.
David Dinotello again.
Yes.
Nacho di Argento Award. Wow, those are important awards.
Yeah, Nastri d'Argento is like your Golden Globe.
I got it. Yeah.
And in this time, I had a famous singer called Georgia in the song, so I received my first nomination in my life with a famous artist singing the song written on the main theme of the movie I composed for, but also I write also for advertising, for documentaries, for everything you see or you watch.
That was a big award. So did your life change after that? Because now you
No,
were in a different category or not, or the same?
I don't know if my life changed a lot, because maybe no. Maybe no. Because I was lucky, and I have been working for years on projects that I really love, and I really feel as mine. And so this satisfaction of this kind of nominations didn't affect at all my way of writing or approaching a movie or a job. But of course, these nominations reflect a skill that you reach to. I don't know if this is something that you can make you richer. I don't think so here in Italy. But it's important for you because it's a small world here in Italy. We are not a big industry, so all professionals involved in this kind of industry in Italy share the few same producers. So we are not so many people, and the nice thing is that they have chosen you to as a key figure or a nice artist. And so when people who make this kind of work, this kind of job, give you an award or a nomination, this is not given from the public, but from people who have a lot of skills, from people which are directors or producers or composers or actors, really skilled. So it is an award that weighs a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to bring your attention to one composition for 2014 that is called "Lost in an Orchestral Mood." That's a masterpiece. I really like it. Well, 2014, 8 years ago. What is it? It's a film. It's a soundtrack. It's
a combination. It's a mix of things that share the same approach to the composition, but it's a mix of music used on movies or on advertisings or on many different applications. But those tunes share the same focus, the same approach, the same ideas. So, for example, there is a song for an international campaign, maybe the first, Lovely on My Hand, maybe. A song for an international campaign of a big brand here in Italy, of clothes, maybe we say clothes, or corporate. There are some musics for a corporate movie for another brand of wine. It's that decided to make a corporate movie, like it was a cinema a movie. And also there is inside of it something written for art installations. For example, I worked a lot for the design here in Milan. We have here Salone del Mobile, which is a fair of furniture for house and office, and it's a design fair. It's the most important design fair in the world.
Wow!
And I made 2 official openings for it, with the original music created for installations or for a theatrical show, like a musical show. And so some music in that album you talked about, it's also from those art installations here in Milan.
Is the music available in CD, vinyl, where people can buy it, or?
I had a shop on the website, on the former website, yeah. But at the moment I stopped the selling of physical CDs, because I give them only as a demo or something. More as it was a gadget than something to be sold. But if someone wants to receive a physical CD, I can send easily everywhere.
When I go to visit you in Milan, in Monza,
yeah, of course,
I would like to get a couple of copies. The other masterpiece is the Fukushima, A Nuclear Story from 2015. The year that's also is very, very good, man.
Yeah, it was a nice documentary, broadcasted all over the world, and narrated by William Dafoe in the international version. And it was a nice documentary that has the Sky Italian journalist Pio D'Emilia as the lead narrator of all the tragedy that he really lived in Japan, because he's the Italian journalist for Sky for the Asia, and he was based in Japan when the tsunami came, and so he had a lot of scenes, recordings, interviews from the Sky, his work for Sky TV, and it was mixed with original scenes shot there also in the Forbidden Zone. And it was awarded here in Italy with a prize of journalists for documentaries shot by journalists here in Italy, and he has a score with the international approach, emotional, large, intimate sometimes, and it's a score that I really love.
Yeah, it's a masterpiece. In Italy, you have many, film composers that became very famous. I mean, because like I told you before, I like electronic music. So people like Ennio Morricone and Goblin, Fabio Frizzi, Pino Donaggio, Dario Argento, and so many people. Although it's like you mentioned, it's not Hollywood, right? The segment that you work is very limited, and everybody knows one another, right? You can work with two people that his person is working with another director and the person working with another, everybody knows. But there's the people that, like myself, like electronic music and horror movies or science fiction, where the music is very, very interesting. It's there are so many great people in Italy. I mean, it's amazing, right?
Thank you. Yeah, we have to we must use an original and personal approach to the scoring, because we haven't got an industry also from the musical side of the process. So sometimes you can find the same approach to the scene in many composers for American movies, because there is a standard way sometimes to show the things, to show the roles in the movie, and to show also with the music some psychological points, key points of the story. But here we have to manage with the something more less standards, with less standards than in your industry. So you must be more creative with the approach, because we have also few money to make the things. So many times you must be creative to reach the point. Yes.
Do you prefer, you have worked in film score, documentary, advertising? Do you prefer one or the other? Or they one pay? I suppose that advertising pays better, right? In a shorter period of time. Right?
Advertising, it pays better, but every time it is like if you was a writer. If you was a writer, maybe you would write something longer, a trilogy of of stories, or a short story, or something for a paper, a newspaper. So for me, it's every time a different kind of play. It's like I was an actor playing different roles in different kind of so sometimes I can write something straight and strong and with a really short time, which is something for advertising. Another time I can be a writer of long romance, long stories, which is the writing for movies, when you have to manage a lot of time. So the music is more shares more time to be developed, to be presented in the show, and so you have to keep the focus every time, from the first minute to the last minute. So manage 1.5 hours of story from the musical side. It's quite difficult, because you must be every time on the same language, and to be various, but in the same way, in the same language.
I got it. Do you like to listen to other film scorer, other film composer at all, or you prefer not to? Because some musicians prefer not to listen to other people because they may influence him or her.
I like listen every kind of composers. I love, and also if I have the doubt that I made something similar to something famous, or from famous composers, I ask to my friends, and I have a friend which is really an expert of film music.
Really?
He knows everything about film music, and sometimes I call him and I say, Massimo, what do you think about this music? Did you hear it from? And I don't say that it's my music too. And if he says, "Oh, yeah, I know it's from," I get worried.
Right.
But usually no. Usually he says, "Oh, nice," but no, it's the first time I listen to it, so no, don't worry.
So he has like a big music collection? How can you know?
Yeah. We wrote. He has a magazine, which is now a web magazine, Colonne Sonore, which is Colonne Sonore is soundtracks in English. And I wrote for his in the past for his magazine when it was on paper. It was edited and distributed on paper. But he has a really library full of all kind of soundtracks. And the funny thing is that one time my orchestrator Enrico Goldoni, I gave him a music to compose for a piece of a corporate movie. I had to write 12 minutes of orchestral music for a corporate, and I gave him 3 minutes to compose, and he showed me the let me listen the music he created, and I listened to it, and then I said, Enrico, there is a good news and one bad news. The good news is that the music is so nice, really nice. the bad news is it's that absolutely the same music of John Williams, accidental tourist.
Wow.
I don't know how, maybe some years before, 1 year before, or I don't know, he listened to that soundtrack.
Accidental tourist,
Maybe,
yeah.
and maybe he recorded in his mind
Of course.
every note, but every note from the French horns to the piano to the second violins and the cellos, everything, it was absolutely the same tune of John Williams, but he didn't know anything about it because it didn't remember it was that kind of. So you sometimes we composer, as you told before, we risk something with our memory because
Right.
we record everything, every note of the things we love, and so it could happen that you reply exactly the things you loved in even if you don't want, even if you don't remember where did you hear that theme or that orchestration.
Yeah. Do you what are you working nowadays? What is in your plate now? Working the next week or next month? What are you?
Now I have finished yesterday a song, an original song for an advertising.
Yeah.
And also I have a movie, a TV movie to be shown on the first channel of public television in Italy.
Yeah.
In 2 weeks,
Wow.
on 8th of December, it will be shown on. And I made all the soundtrack, all the score, and also I wrote a musical with a young director, but with a lot of experience, despite of his age. But the musical, it's difficult to produce now because we talking about the COVID, the virus. People are not. It's difficult to think about risks of producing something that requires a lot of money to be produced on stage, but with the people that don't want to go out to theaters. Or I know, for example, that in Broadway there are a lot of casino that are trying to buy the theaters of Broadway because I read an article on the newspaper that are suffering a lot the lack of people going to watch the musicals or the theaters shows, and it's a kind of problem that involves also the production of new projects.
Right. Yeah. Some people with, the producer or the person who will finance a movie or an advertising a new company, they are afraid to invest the money because they will not be able to recover the money back, right? So if a new movie used to be shown in a show in Milan, maybe the first week, 10,000 people will go and see that, right? Now probably 1,000. So it will, the person who put the money to pay the director, in your case, film scoring, the agent and everything, they may not record the money. So they say, I don't know if I want to invest because it's risky for me, right?
Yeah. It's really difficult to manage these risks because these are the times of post-COVID age, and so it's a pity because you make something really nice, something incredible, and you can't produce it because of the great financial effort you have to manage to produce it, and without the people, it's impossible to make everything. So we wait for a new way to come back to the original age when people went away to enjoy theaters. Or we have a lot of people that go to theater, for example, but to watch the things that they know already. They are sure about what they are going to see, and they go. But for every kind of new project, now it's quite difficult to present those projects out.
Yeah, it's very difficult. Hopefully one day the COVID will go away forever, and hopefully Putin, here in Ukraine will disappear.
we have also the Ukraine problem.
Yeah, but, and the economy.
But I see one hope. When the COVID started, we listened to someone saying everything will be different from before. We will stay every time at home, working or enjoying shows, but people wants to go out, wants to share real life experience, real life relationship, and this is quite hopefully for me because not all is lost.
Yeah. Hopefully it will be a better world, with no COVID, no war, and better economy and no inflation, and hopefully things will improve for everybody. It was that's the last question. It was nice talking to you, Fabrizio. È stato molto bello parlare con te e buona fortuna.
Grazie. Grazie.
And I will see you in Monza, in Milan next year for sure.
Yeah, when you want, whenever you want.
I will take you out to dinner. Got some good Italian food. Good, some wine, good beer.
Yeah, in front of my studio, I have a restaurant, a little restaurant. Which is so great, so nice, and I eat every day from 2004.
Correct.
From 2004, I have been eating every day.
Really?
There. Yeah, because the chef is someone who goes early in the morning to the market to get to the fresh things, the right things, and so you will love it. Absolutely.
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, great. And let's stay in touch, and then I will send you a different email. And when the recording is done, I will send you the direct link for your social media account, for your Facebook, and all your websites.
Va bene. Thank
you. It was very nice talking to you. Good luck to you, man.
Bye bye, Claudio.